The Stone Age Gamer includes a lot of bad language. Cover your mother ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer Podcast. I am Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is decentralized hype machine Dan Ryan.
I'm really glad I didn't read this week's either. That was good.
It's E3 season, but there's no E3 in sight. But that's okay, because we've gathered together all the E3-like experiences that are scheduled to happen around this time anyway, and we're going to make some fantastic predictions. Will the Intellivision Amico make a surprise presentation once again? I hope you like pre-rendered trailers, because the Stone Age Gamer Podcast starts now. Holy heck on a pita. This is episode 413. It is the week of Tiff's birthday, 2022.
Of Tiff birthday. Of
Tiff's birthday.
I know, it's hard to say those back to back.
That's tough. That's a challenge.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Tiffany's birthday, but she hates the name Tiffany, so it's my darling wife's birthday. Her 40th.
I thought you were going to say that's your ace in the hole. Like, you really want to get the point across.
Well, that too. She's definitely my ace in the hole. I'm not sure. I think we're getting too personal. I mean, we've been doing the show long enough. I feel like we could share.
When in the world has anything of this show been too personal for you?
You don't even know. Imagine. That's what I'm saying.
A string of episodes about your asshole. What are you talking about?
I mean, but only certain aspects of it. We haven't gotten all the way in.
How complicated is it in there?
It's fucking mystery. It's a multiverse of madness. It was what it fucking is, Kris.
So
Jesus
you've seen
Christ.
Multiverse of Madness now. You've caught up with the rest of us. I hear tell you liked it.
I fucking adored it. I absolutely adored it. Sam Raimi is one of my very, very favorite directors. I love the look of his movies. I love the tone and just the way that he moves the camera through the world. I just enjoy it. And big budget, high production value Sam Raimi is just like, chef's kiss. Like, it's so good. And this was a movie where, man, if you like Sam Raimi, this movie is definitely for you. Like, even if you don't care about the Marvel Universe and Doctor Strange and America Chavez and the WandaVision, like, all that stuff. Like, even if you don't care about that, and you're just like, I like the cut of this guy's jib. Man, did you get a ton of jib in this movie. It was beautiful.
Like that,
it was
that
beautiful.
Freaking music fight. Like,
oh my God. It was so good.
I could
so
feel
stupid.
members of the audience around me, like, kind of being like, all right, this is dumb. And I'm just sitting here enthralled, like, this is fantastic.
This is great. It was so, because there's so much in this movie, like so many Sam Raimi movies. I was like, oh my God, this is so stupid, but I love every second of it. You know, like, just the watching Bruce Campbell beat the shit out of himself 40 years after Evil Dead 2. Like, I was just like, yes, this is everything I wanted in life. The only thing I was disappointed with is that I didn't see the car. I don't know if it was in there and I missed it.
I feel like I remember hearing at some point the car's not around anymore, but
that's certainly possible. You know, because, like, there's one spoilers if you haven't seen the movie like me. If you're still an asshole like I was up until this morning, there's a scene where, like, towards the end of the film, Stephen Strange walks out of the Sanctum Sanctorum and he starts, like, having this crazy headache because of all the things that have happened up into the movie, or up till that point of the movie, all the things he's had to do to. Spoiler: he wins. The good guy wins at the end. That's so weird. But a car, like, he falls down in the street and a car comes screeching up and almost hits him. And I was like, oh, that would have been, like, that could have been the car. That would have been perfect. I would have, like, hit the person next to me and been like, see? There it is. Nah, I loved it. Loved it to pieces.
Yeah, I thought it was a good time. I was very happy with it. My only disappointment is how much stuff happened off screen. like how much Doctor Strange happened off screen. Like, I feel like there should have been another Doctor Strange movie in there. Like, Mordo I wanted to see that.
Yeah.
Like, everything with like he's talking about like, yeah, he tried to kill me and all this other stuff. Like, yeah, I know that happened. They set that up at the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
Why didn't I get to see that?
We're getting there. That's going to be the third movie.
No, I don't think they're going back. I would sincerely doubt they're going back. I think they just ticked all those boxes. Like, this is how we're following up this movie.
I don't know.
I would be very pleased if that wasn't the case, but who knows?
Yeah, I liked all the little cameos, the Illuminati, the surprises that were in there. Oh my god, it was so violent.
I mean, like John Krasinski, that was wonderful. That made me happy.
Yeah,
it was a little silly that he was stupid enough to just tell Wanda exactly what to do, but you know, that's a little out of character for Reed Richards, the smartest guy in all of reality or whatever. But you know, I'll let it slide because it's just this version of him. So who knows? Getting the what's his face from the freaking Inhumans TV show to come back to play Black Bolt, that was a bold move,
and he looks so much better.
He does.
In the Marvel costume than that whatever the fuck they had on that TV show.
Couldn't really get a lot worse. That TV show was, I didn't even watch much of it at all.
No, I watched the first episode and bounced out. And I was so
the fuck out of that.
I was so upset because I don't care about the Inhumans that much, but I really liked the guy who played Ramsay Bolton.
Oh yeah.
Like,
that was like their thing with that show. They're like, come on, we've got some gravity here. We got this guy from Game of Thrones, and just
and he
wasn't enough to carry the rest of that ship.
No, God, it was so bad. Like, Lockjaw looked kind of cool, but
not bad for TV visual effects. But I could have done with Captain Carter living, but
no, I love that.
Like,
I could do this all day. I love the line. It was great.
I was like, all right, cool. Pile on more of her, please. That was great. I love Haley Atwell. All right.
Yeah.
I will watch her be an awesome superhero all day long.
Yeah, no, she was outstanding.
Yeah.
What I really, really appreciated about this movie is that this was I felt like this was the first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie where not only did you have to have seen the rest of it, like almost all of it, to understand this movie, but they didn't give a shit if you hadn't seen it and didn't bother trying to explain it for newbies.
Yeah.
Like this, you better be invested or you're just going to be lost. And I appreciated that, you know? Because they haven't asked for too big of a commitment, I don't feel.
Yeah, I feel like most of it you can just, see whatever movies you're going to see and be okay. This one was just like, nope. Do your homework.
Yeah, you didn't see WandaVision?
We're not going to tell you what that homework is, but you need to see it.
You didn't see WandaVision? You really should have. 1, because it's fucking great. 2, you need to see it to understand this fucking movie. And I really did. I really appreciated the fact that we're there in a point where it's like, no, there's a history that you just have to know at this point, or else we can't make these going forward. Because the first hour of each movie would have to be a recap of the previous 27, 38 things, whatever the hell they're up to now. I don't know. It's just crazy. And the same thought always strikes me after I walk out of whatever the latest Marvel adventure thing was, is just how has DC not figured this out yet?
Yeah, I don't know.
How are we still trying to well, maybe with the Flash multiverse, the Flashpoint thing, that'll put things right and we can start doing the thing. They somehow made Multiverse of Madness work and nobody can figure out how to make Superman work. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody could, but unfortunately they really hitched their horse to Mr. Snyder, and I mean, that's what they've got now.
Yeah, it was bad. It's bad. Bad news bears. I didn't like it.
But But anyways, so you saw that one. Have you seen any of the other new hotness? Like,
we have not seen any of Stranger Things yet because Tiff got called into work both Saturday and Sunday, so that kind of cut out some of the time that we were going to spend on things. But we did watch the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so
I
good.
loved it. I
loved it too. I thought it was great.
You know what? I loved it so much that afterwards I was like, all right, I'm going to wade into some comment sections to see what everyone's complaining about, because I just naturally assumed everyone's complaining about it. It's new Star Wars, therefore it must be hated. Like,
people are just shitting all over it. They'd have to be.
I hadn't seen it. I hadn't seen it happen, but I just assumed it was there, and boy, was I right. Man. I was right for one thing. The one thing that's bothering me about the show is the Grand Inquisitor's head. It just ain't right. I watched the whole season of Star Wars Rebels with this guy. It's not what his head is shaped like.
It's not the same guy.
I know. Well, no, Jason Isaacs' head isn't shaped like the cartoon character either. I'm just saying.
No. I'm saying it's a different Grand Inquisitor. Grand
think
Inquisitor is a position.
You think that they got another dude of the same species with the same marks on his face?
That's the canon that I'm going with. Until somebody tells me I'm wrong. Definitively.
All right. I suppose that's one.
It's a way to go with it. He was my least favorite part as well. I did not care for his voice.
I didn't mind his voice. I still don't understand how they didn't get Jason Isaacs to do this, but
that's
whatever.
what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't Jason Isaacs, and I didn't care for that because I have not watched all of Rebels or Bad or whatever the fuck all these things are based off of.
Rebels was this guy though.
That's what I thought. I thought I was right, but again, I also assume I'm the asshole, so I try to cover my bases there. But I had some frame of reference for it, so I was a little disappointed in that bit. But other than that, I thought it was great.
Other than that, I'm all for it. Like,
I thought it was great.
People have been naturally complaining about the third sister. She's a black woman.
Is that the complaint?
No, I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
Okay, that's fair.
I just don't like her. I don't think she's a good actor. You sure?
Are you sure that's what it is?
I kind of feel like that's not what this is, but okay. I mean, I don't think she's great. I think she's but I don't think I'm supposed to. You know what I mean? Like, she's super abrasive and like headstrong and over dramatic, and like,
you're not supposed to like her yet.
I think that's the role.
Yeah. I think you're going to like her eventually, but not yet.
I don't think so. I think she's just going to continue to get worse until she's killed.
You
That's
think?
What I think.
Maybe.
That's the way all these Inquisitors have been for me. She reminds me a lot of the Inquisitor character from the Jedi Fallen Order game.
Yeah. What was that? The second sister in that one?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
I'm not positive, but I think so. So that's what I assumed everyone was going to be complaining about, was the dude's head and the third sister.
And how dare she be black?
And how dare she be she?
Yeah, how dare she be a she, first of all? God damn it.
What I was not prepared for was that there's a lot of hate for little Leia.
What?
There's a lot of people that are complaining that they made Leia unlikable because she's kind of a know-it-all and kind of a brat, and like, did you not see Star Wars? This is 100% what that character was as a kid. No question in my mind.
I was going to say,
I
submit that you've never seen it. Like, if you are complaining about that, I don't think you've ever watched Star Wars apart from cool space laser wizards.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this boils down to this is the first time they're paying attention to the words that are coming out of her mouth. That's the only... I mean, that's not me trying to, like, put words into anything. That is literally the only thing that makes sense to me. That you only thought Leia was cool because you thought she was hot. That's
Right,
the
you saw
only
the-
explanation I can think of for why you would think that this is not an accurate portrayal of the little kid version of Leia. 'Cause
You saw the bikini and went, which don't get me wrong, she's smoking hot. However, there's so much more to that character.
like, listen to any words that come. She just stood there in front of Darth Vader in the very first movie and sassed the fuck out of him.
And basically said, you could call Bill Cosby and tell him to suck my motherfucking dick. Is basically what she said.
The other one that was...
That's right, everybody gets bonus points if you understand that is a reference from Eddie Murphy's Delirious, which you should all watch, as problematic as it is currently. Still fucking funny.
So, what else we've got people complaining about is why Obi-Wan's not using his Force powers. Well, he's not using the Force. Now, at some point in the episode, like earlier on, when it would have been very useful for him to use the Force, Karen paused it and said, all right, why isn't he using the Force? And I said, because as soon as he uses the Force, people are going to know where he is.
Yeah.
He knows the Inquisitors are out there. He knows they're force sensitive, and that's basically just like a big fat beacon that says, oh, I'm
Here
a
I
Jedi.
am.
Here
Come
I am.
get me.
Like, and that's established through... He freaking walked onto the Death Star, and Vader was just like, I sense something. A presence I haven't felt. Like,
Yeah.
he just showed up. That wasn't
Yeah.
even him doing anything. So, yeah, he's not using the Force right now. Because if he did, it's just like shining a big fat beacon of here I am. So
It's why Yoda doesn't fucking use the Force to do shit on Dagobah. It's what hiding is.
it is, yeah. It's
That's
not necessarily
how you
like
hide.
it's a little unclear
God
on
damn it.
exactly how that works, but it is, it is effectively you use the Force, and you're going to be drawing some kind of attention to yourself, especially when people are specifically hunting you.
Yeah, you in particular.
Yeah. So I don't understand that complaint. And the other one is that the whole fact that Obi-Wan's rescuing Leia makes her conversation to him through the hologram in A New Hope not make sense.
Nope, doesn't.
It really doesn't.
Doesn't. He never says his name is Obi-Wan Kenobi. He says my name is Ben. Next.
And even if
That's it.
Even if that wasn't the case, and even if that wasn't the case, it's not like she was going to be like, "Sup, Ben? Remember that time we hung out when I was 10?" Like, you can interpret that in any number of ways, but the only way that makes sense to me, and was my immediate reaction to it, is like, what's she can? She's trying to show him the importance of what's happening right now. So she brings up, years ago, you served my father in the Clone Wars. Boom. She's not going to be like, years ago, you rescued me from kidnappers. Or, because we don't know how this is going to end up. We really don't. But
Yeah,
even
but
if
point,
you want to go the farthest you can, it still doesn't contradict that conversation.
Because at this point, she has sent a message to try and reach the legendary General Kenobi, who she doesn't fucking know, and maybe she will, but as of episode 2 of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, she doesn't know that Ben and Obi-Wan Kenobi are the same person.
And like,
Now,
she doesn't light up like a Christmas tree until Luke says, "I'm here with Ben Kenobi." Ben Kenobi?
Right. Like, I will grant you that changing your name from Obi-Wan Kenobi to Ben Kenobi isn't all that stealthy.
Yeah,
I will grant you that. But there's nothing we can do about a 40-year-old hack script that was written by a gigantic hack named George Lucas.
And really, best case scenario, it's still fine. It doesn't contradict shit. She never says she didn't know him for another reason. Even just assuming that it is. She never says anything that says that she doesn't know Obi-Wan Kenobi. She never says that. It never happens. So
maybe she was given that message in front of somebody and she didn't want to give away some shit, because they were being super secretive.
Well, she recorded it. We saw where she recorded it. She took R2 into that room and recorded it.
But still,
there was nobody there. Maybe she didn't want to say it to R2. Maybe she didn't trust the fucking droid. I don't know. But
droids are
way,
fucking shifty. We all know that.
Especially R2. He's up to something.
Oh my god! You hear those beeps? Those are the beeps of a fucking sociopath. Tell you what. No, that's a dumb complaint. That's a dumb complaint. Because it's not a complaint.
All for reasonable
it's not
complaints.
legitimate.
I really am. I'm totally, like, I accepted every criticism lobbed at Book of Boba Fett because they were all valid.
Yeah, that
But
show
I
is
still
not
love the
good.
show.
I enjoyed
This
it.
show is not that.
No.
This Obi-Wan show is absolutely not that.
The biggest complaint that I had is that he stole the meat the same exact way every single day, and it was so obvious.
Was he stealing it? I thought that was like his pay. I thought that was something he was allowed to do.
I don't know. To me, it looked like he was trying the first time, the way the camera cut, it looked like he was trying to be shifty. But maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I just figured that was like his ration for the day. I didn't think that was like that didn't strike me as stealing it, but I didn't even cross my mind, so.
But beyond that, I thought it was I thought it was very good. It was a little slow the first episode. I would have liked to jump into it a little quicker. But that's just me being impatient. It's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean? Like it corrected the problem I think that Book of Boba Fett had, where again that was like 6 episodes, and you spent 5.5 episodes telling me backstory that could have been wrapped up in 5 or 6 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just didn't need to see all of this.
This also, Boba Fett had a similar problem that the sequel trilogy had, which I also love the sequel trilogy, but it had a lot of, different fingers in the kitchen. Obi-Wan is all directed by the same person. There's a singular vision going into this show. And that, I think, is a thing that can very easily go wrong with Star Wars. Like, it didn't go wrong with Mandalorian. It kind of went wrong with Boba Fett. It kind of went wrong. It went wrong pretty solidly in the sequels. And again, love those movies, but there's no denying it would have been a lot better if there was a singular vision going on, or at least something set up to really follow through to the end. But alas, we have much to discuss. I will say that I've watched 3 episodes of Stranger Things, and that show is also starts off in a little bit of a slow burn, but by the end of episode 3, like, I was totally all in from the end of episode 1.
Sure.
But the end of episode 3 was a legit nail biter. I was like, come on.
Yeah, we're gonna start that probably tomorrow. Probably. We just
I'm
bought
so
a bunch
excited
of
about
video
doing
games
this show
too.
tonight. I'm so excited about doing the show tonight, but I'm also just in the back of my head, I really wish I was watching Stranger Things too. I wish I had time to do both.
Let's shut up then. Let's move on. How dare you?
There's no way.
There's no way what?
There's no way that I could fit it, because the episode's like an hour and a half long.
Oh, that's fair.
If I started it now, I'd be okay.
Well, good night, folks.
No, there's way too much fun stuff to talk about. You just said you got new games. I have a bunch of fun game stuff that I'm really excited to talk about. So you go first.
Yeah, well, it's nothing new, but we didn't start any of the new stuff yet. But PlayStation is currently doing their big Days of Play sale, to where they just there's some ridiculous discounts on games. Like, for example, one of the games I bought was the Batman Arkham Trilogy. Nice. So you get the Return to Arkham Asylum, Return to Arkham City. So those were the upscaled versions. They polished up the graphics and the shadows and the lighting and all of that stuff. It's got all the DLC included. And then also Arkham Knight, with all the DLC, all the extra missions, all of that stuff. That is currently like $60 if you want to buy it, which honestly is totally worth it. You know, in my opinion, Arkham Asylum alone is worth the $60. I really like Arkham City, and Arkham Knight is fun for a little bit. The game definitely has some problems, and it is by far my least favorite of the 3, but I still enjoyed my time with it. But that was on sale for $8.99. So I was like, yeah, I'm having that. Having that. And we started a playthrough of Arkham Asylum again. And just, my goodness, did they nail that game. It's perfect. It's perfect. That's the one. You haven't finished it, right? Or
Asylum?
did you
No, I never finished Asylum.
Oh my god. It was
really good, but like Metroid Prime Trilogy came out at the same time. So I played through like
fair.
half of Arkham, and then I played through like Prime and half of Prime 2, and then I don't know, life happened. But
it's just wonderful. Just
I really
the atmosphere,
Arkham Asylum. Really like that game.
The mood in that game, the art direction of that game is really great.
The really fortunate placement of gargoyle statues.
Really, really fortunate placement of gargoyle statues.
It's like it was built just for Batman to skulk around. Like, I don't know why
so
Batman
fun.
ever leaves that place.
But it's so fun.
Oh, the combat is just, it's just a hoot.
I
adore you feel like Batman.
I adore it. Yeah, it is by far, it is the game that kind of redefined what superhero games could be and should be. You know, and like Spider-Man and Miles Morales, I think, have really hit on that. And I think like those are the three so far. We'll see what this Wolverine game is. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Hold please. No sneeze. Thought we had a sneeze. Okay. Thought it was coming. Nope, apparently not. Oh, my allergies have been shit this entire week. It's been fucking crazy. Yeah. So bad. So we bought that. Then we bought I can't even remember the name of this other game, but we didn't start playing it yet, so it doesn't matter. It's like a narrative poem adventure that Tiff wanted to play. She was really excited about it, so we'll talk about that next week. We bought the Ace Attorney Trilogy. That was on sale for $10.
I think that's what I paid for it too, back when I got it on sale on Switch.
That's fine. We can do that for $10. I will happily do that. But then I also picked up the first, only because I was like, all right, this is enough games. I don't need to keep buying shit. The first Mega Man Legacy Collection. And then sat down with Katie and played through the first Mega Man, and she was like, oh my god, this game is so hard. It's like, yeah, I know. It is ridiculous how hard that game is. But I still beat it. I was very happy. Played through, got the Yellow Devil. I hate the Yellow Devil. He's so hard, Chris.
I'm sorry, which one were we talking about? Powered Up?
Just the first Mega Man in the Legacy
first
Collection.
Mega Man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted by something. The little girl with the pink hair in Obi-Wan was Ewan McGregor's daughter.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The one who tries to sell him drugs?
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
Anyway, Yellow Devil's I mean, as long as you don't use the zap him with the pause trick, but
well, sure, but I mean, like, actually trying to beat the Yellow Devil, God, he's just really, really hard. I kept fucking rewinding it. Katie was like, Dad, you're cheating. I was like, yeah, no, I know I am, but I beat this game when I was 8. I don't need to do it again now. I'm not showing off. I'm just doing it to do it.
I have something to say about that entire situation. Really ties into one of the games that I've been playing this week, but I'll save it until you're done.
But yeah, like it was really fun, and it was really funny. A Facebook memory popped up on Saturday when we were playing. I'm gonna see if I can't pull it up again real quick. Katie had said something a few years ago when I was playing. Damn it, Facebook. No, can I not go back to like other memories like the day before?
Yeah, I don't know how any of that shit works.
Whatever. Katie had come down like 5 years ago, so they just turned 13, so she was 8 years old. And I happened to be playing Mega Man on the same day that this, one of the Mega Man games, on the same day that this memory popped up. And Katie was like, Dad, what are you doing to those robots? They have rights too. And then I was playing Mega Man again, and that, I just stopped for a minute and pulled up Facebook to check something, and I was like, oh shit, Katie, look, you're a fucking liberal, progressive, crazy person 5 years ago, and look, isn't it odd that we are still playing Mega Man to this day, because it's beautiful and wonderful, and she loves the music. Snake Man is her favorite Mega Man song so far.
It's a damn good choice.
It's a damn good choice. I fucking raise good kids, Chris. And then Puzzle and Dragons and the show. I'm way behind on the show. Life has gotten way too in the way for me to be on the pace that I was for the show last year, which is totally okay. Like, I've made my peace with it. But man, I am way behind. Way behind. That does kind of make me sad. But what are you going to do? All right, what have you been playing?
All right, so we continued our trek through Mega Man games going backwards.
Right.
And we have made it to Mega Man and Bass, which I had decided the best way to do that would be to get the English translation patch and play it on my FX pack. So I've been playing the Super Famicom version of Mega Man and Bass that's been translated into English, and I still stand by where the GBA version landed on our list. Because I think the GBA version is crap, but I've never been able to get very far in it. Mostly because I think it's crap.
Because it's crap.
Because it's just forgettable and hard for all the wrong reasons. So finally playing the Super Famicom one is something I've always wanted to do. It's the only mainline Mega Man game I've never beaten. And I still haven't. Because... holy shit. The end of that game is the worst Mega Man content I've ever played in my life. Yeah. The second and third King levels are fucking awful. Just absolute garbage. The Jesus Christ. So for some reason I couldn't get save files working on this game in either the Japanese version or the English patch. Saves work fine on my FX pack for every other game that I've tried it on. They work fine. Can't get Mega Man and Bass to save. So my Super Nintendo's been on for like a week and a half now. I just leave it on.
That's right. You had mentioned that last week. Like, you were hoping that the house doesn't burn down.
Yes, yeah. I couldn't remember if we actually talked at all about this during the trivia show, or maybe it was before the show or whatever. Either way, it's been on this whole time. The house is fine. Playing through the game a bunch, like when just doing the regular Robot Masters stages, I'm like, this game's pretty good. I mean, we only ranked the GBA version because we're only ranking North American ones, but I would rank this one considerably higher than the Game Boy Advance one. And then I got to the second King stage, where it's 4 really long boss battles. Yeah. That you have to do all of them. Like, if you run out of lives, because this game doesn't have energy tanks for some goddamn reason, but if you run out of lives, then that's it. You have to do all of those bosses over again, and they are long, pain-in-the-ass bosses, especially the King Plane. The King Plane is the most bullshit I have ever played. It is an auto-scrolling boss battle on little floaty platforms, and if he does this one move that shoots a fist out that blows up one of the wrong kind of platform, if they've randomly generated in the wrong platform, you're dead. And that's it. It's 100% luck, because this thing takes a billion hits no matter what you're doing. No matter what weapon you're using, it takes a ton of damage before it goes down. And if you are unlucky enough to have the fist blow up the wrong kind of platform, that's it. You're done. You got to start over again. And the game's way of combat, because the game knows that this is bullshit, so they combat this by putting an extra life before the fight. So you can, as long as you don't screw up, you can perpetually get this extra life and have as many tries on this boss as you want. But that doesn't solve the problem. The way I found around it after a good long while was spamming the lightning weapon. So whenever the fists come out, I switch over to the lightning weapon, which causes Mega Man to kind of float in the air to do the animation of shooting the lightning weapon, and that allows me to get across the larger chasms, because I'm playing as Mega Man. Now, if you play as Bass, it's a totally different animal, because Bass has a double jump. So that's no longer a problem. You can get to all those platforms no trouble at all, even if they blow up the one in the middle. But Mega Man, it just wasn't balanced for this. It just wasn't. Yeah. So you do that. If after fighting the tank, which is fine. Once I figured out the tank was fine. The jet is complete fucking bullshit. Then you have to do a few more pieces of bullshit to get to King himself, which is two-tiered fighting thing. Then after you're done fighting King, you have to move on to the next room where you have to fight this King Tower that just is the plane and the tank combined together, plus a couple other moves on top of that. And you have to do all of that in one run. Like, no energy tanks. And if you die, if you get your game over, you get to start at the beginning and play all of those bosses again. There is no continuing at a boss. It's just a ridiculously stupid boss rush. And that took us days to get through. Days of me pounding my head against this stupid fucking thing.
That sucks.
Finally made it through that, and it was not fun at all. It was just shit design top to bottom. Now we're on to the last bit of it, the Wily stages, and I really thought that we were going to get through this today. But the Wily stage has the boss rush, but they tackle the boss rush differently in this game. It's not a bunch of capsules you go in and just fight the bosses and get a little power up afterwards. The boss rush goes in a linear fashion. It is played out, the boss order is chosen for you. And you go to a room, you fight a boss, and then you have to do a bunch of fucking disappearing, reappearing block puzzles that are over instant death spikes. And they're not even like straightforward ones. They are like these really complicated ones where like a string will show up super fast, then another one will show up, then another one will show up. Then they'll all disappear, and you have to be in midair and then land on another one that lands over there that is over an instant death spike pit. And if you are off by even the microest of microseconds, it's insta-death. And then you can climb a ladder and move on to the next one. And there's one in between, like, I think I'm four through four of the Robot Masters so far. And there's been just this level of bullshit insta-death design. Constant insta-death bullshit, memorizing the floaty block patterns through all of them. It's like they took everything about this game frustrates me to no end, because on one hand, it fixes a lot of what I don't like about Mega Man 8 and like keeps the stuff that I did like about it. Like a lot of the level designs aren't as open and stupid as the stuff in Mega Man 8, but they're still a little bit more open than a traditional Mega Man game. It felt like a really, really cool evolution of what they were trying to do with 8 that kind of like scaled things back and put a little bit more focus. But then somebody who was designing this game just had nothing but malice for the people who were playing it. Just pure, unadulterated hatred for people trying to play it. And these last stages...
Fuck these guys. Hate them.
They are the worst stages I've ever played in a Mega Man game. It's unreal how ridiculous this shit is. Oh, and that stupid fucking plane boss, the other problem I was having was that sometimes I would miss a jump, because when you when you actually cause damage to the plane, it flashes white and causes slowdown. So there's a pattern to the jumping.
Right.
It's just a rhythm. They're all spaced out evenly. It's just that some of them are high, some of them are low, but there's a basic rhythm to what you're doing that you have to keep that rhythm going through the entire fight, because there's no floor. You get hit once in the wrong place, you're instantly dead, because it's just over a death pit that's constantly scrolling, and this thing shoots out these lanterns that if you accidentally hit one, they make the screen flash white and you can't see anything. Now,
hate that.
I've got the rhythm down so it doesn't bother me at all. I blew him up on purpose half the time just to get him out of my way, because I can just make that jump over and over again. The problem is that it causes slowdown.
Right.
And when the slowdown happens, it can be in an unexpected spot. So if you hit one of those lanterns and then another bubble comes out and then you just happen to hit, and I'm using the copy Mega Man ability that just shoots over and over again, the one you get from Astro Man, I can't remember what the weapon's called, but when you have all those things happening on the screen, it'll cause slowdown for the Super Nintendo, and then your timing is off, and then when you think you should be jumping because you pressed the jump button, it didn't register. And then Mega Man walks off the side and dies, and you got to start all the way back over again.
That sucks.
That
really sucks.
Bullshit,
yeah, it's annoying.
Because the game's almost really good. It does a lot of good stuff, but I would definitely put it... It's so much better than the Game Boy Advance version. It's so much more playable, but boy, oh boy. It's not. These last levels are not fun. They are the worst I've ever played. Just bottom of the barrel garbage. Hatred. Pure hate. All of my hate.
All of my hate.
What
all
doesn't
for
get
you,
all of my
all
hate,
at once.
and this is really kind of a surprise. We bought John Lego Jurassic World.
Okay.
And now we've tried Lego games before, but John loves Legos and he's super into dinosaurs, especially after seeing Jurassic Park. And then Lego Jurassic World was on sale for like $8, and I was like, "Yep, we're gonna try this one. It's worth $8 in case we can make this one stick." And then the same exact thing happened with every other Lego game we've tried, where like he starts playing the game and he was playing it with Karen because I was putting Ellie to bed that night, and like
right.
No, they're just running around in circles. John's getting real frustrated because there's absolutely no clue what to do. They've been at it for 25 minutes while I'm putting Ellie to bed, and they're just running around, and John's like, I don't know what to do. I've tried everything. I don't know what... He's getting visibly upset because he wants to like this game. He wants to love it so badly, but it is completely fucking opaque. Yeah. And then I looked at it, and I eventually came across this one spot where I pressed the A button because a little prompt showed up real quick when I walked past it. And I pressed the A button, and these little blue footprints showed up on the ground. We followed them for a minute, and then the character dug something up, and that was what we needed to do to get forward. What a bunch of bullshit. And that's the same shit that happened with every Lego game we've played. They're like, yeah, get these games for your kids. They're great. The kids love them. But every single one I've ever tried, the Star Wars, the Marvel, the DC... they all have these weird bits where it's like, sure, we know what to do because we made the game, but we're not making it obvious. We're not going to point to it in any way, shape, or form. Just good fucking luck. And that's noped my kids out of every Lego game they've ever tried. And I hate that. I hate that to death. This one, I found that, and I was like, I think I'm starting to understand what this game wants us to do. And it's not something that my kids have any interest in doing, but I think we can figure this shit out. So we pushed forward, and we just beat the Jurassic Park missions tonight.
Cool.
And we kept running into these bits where we're like, all right, I got no clue what to do here. I have just no idea. Or like, we'll get to a spot where you got to do some sort of precision platforming, and there's no shadows underneath the Legos for whatever because we're in a tree, so there's no ground to look at. So you got to jump onto a vine, and like, I missed the vine again. Let me climb back up. No, you got to come down here. You got to hoist me onto this thing so that we can jump up there, and then I'll go over there. I'll throw the baseball and make the vine come down. I'll try to jump on the vine. I missed the vine again. Let's go do this whole goddamn thing over and over and over again because what the fuck?
The Lego games are very similar to games when we were kids. They really are. They really are. Because there are
shitty ones, though. They're similar to shit like Mylon's Secret Castle, where it's just like, nah, see, we know what this is because we programmed it, but we're not going to pay any attention at all. We're not even going to consider that someone's going to play this. We're just going to do what's based on our mind. Yeah, of course we know that you press this button to throw a baseball and hit a target. Of course we know that because we're the ones who made the game. You don't know that, but you'll figure it out eventually, or you'll stop playing it. Either way, we got your fucking money. It's fucking atrocious the way these things are designed.
Man,
it makes me makes my blood boil how angry this makes.
I just disagree. I understand that there is some frustration in there. I have never played through a Lego game and gotten that stuck.
Everyone we've ever played through has been that. It's been like
I just don't get it. I'm not discounting your feelings or anything like that. I'm just merely offering the counter that I've had a completely different experience.
And apparently most people have, because these games get recommended all the time.
Yeah, and I just don't know what
I keep fucking buying them. And then we're like, okay, the beginning of the DC one, we played the beginning of the DC one, and we're running around as the villains, and then all of a sudden, like, all right, there's a door. Okay, go through the door. The door's locked. How do we unlock the door? I don't know. Okay, let's go over everything. All right, we've been up and down here. Nope, that's not it. There's no key. What do we do? Are we supposed to jump over the door? What does this button do? Nothing? Okay. And we would just sit there, going through every single character available, walking over every inch, looking at every prompt that we can find, and there's just nothing. And most of the time, it boils down to some sort of thing that's supposed to trigger, but you have to come at it from the exact right time and exact right angle. And if you don't happen to come across this at the exact right angle, which you should, if you just so happen to like follow the Lego trails that show up. But if you're playing with somebody who ran around and grabbed all the Lego trails before you could see them, well, then you're fucked. Then there's no way to tell which it reminded me of the stupid fucking pixel hunts in Metroid Other M, where it's like, okay, it's here. You just got to find that one pixel that'll make it show up, and that's how you move forward. And if you can't find that, well, that's on you, buddy.
Yeah,
outside of that,
I don't know, man.
It was fun to play. The map was kind of a pain in the ass. We'd be like, all right, how do we get where we're going? Where are we? What's north? What the fuck, game? But we eventually figured it out, and we made it through all of the Jurassic Park, and we kind of got the hang of what the game wanted us to do. But they just kept running into these spots. We was just banging our heads against the wall. I fucking hate it. But it was really funny. I loved the comedy, and I've always loved the personality of these Lego games, which is why it pissed me off so much that I hate playing them. But I'm glad we stuck through this one, because he absolutely loved it. And we unlocked... Because when you start it, you have Jurassic Park, and then you have Jurassic World. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, let's move on to Jurassic World. But we unlocked the Lost World.
Oh.
It's like, oh no. I hate the Lost World.
I fucking love it.
That's a really bad movie.
Bad. It's so bad.
It's so bad. And there's another spot, too. I'm like, oh, boy. At least we'll get to play through Jurassic Park 3. Because that movie is worse than The Lost World, but in a funnier way.
But so much better.
It's so much more fun. Because Lost World, I barely even remember it. I just remember hating it in the theater. Was just being so incredibly excited of like, oh, look, they got the compies on the beach like in the beginning of the first book. Oh, this is exciting. This is going to be good. And I just remember leaving the theater being like, what the fuck was that? That was awful. And I haven't seen it since. Maybe it's better than I remember. I don't know. But
it's not.
Jurassic Park 3, though, was like, yeah, so these kids went parasailing near the island, and one of them fell down there, and he's just been living with dinosaurs for like 5 years. And he's a jungle kid, and he's like totally awesome. So we're going to go over there with Alan Grant. We're going to find this kid. William H. Macy's going to trick Alan Grant to come in just to find the jungle kid. And there's going to be crazy mutant dinosaurs. It's going to be awesome.
And then he's going to deliver one of the most badass lines in cinema history. It's a bird cage. Everybody fucking runs. Oh, I love it so much.
God, and that's going to be fun. And then we'll play through Jurassic World, which I also don't remember all that fondly.
I love Jurassic World.
I didn't hate it. We watched it, and I remember seeing it in the theater and being like, this was awesome. And then the minute we left, I saw it with Karen and my dad. The minute we left, we're like, I don't ever need to see that again.
I mean,
we were all having a ball in the theater, but as soon as it was over, it was like, yeah, that was really stupid.
I don't see anything wrong with that, though. You know what I mean?
Either.
Like, there's nothing wrong with, like, that was a great fucking time that I never need to experience again. Like,
and that's
okay.
The only thing wrong with that is that it's related to Jurassic Park, one of my favorite movies of all time. You know, when you're related to a thing like, okay, seriously, Jurassic Park is just like the Mega Man X games. Yeah. It's exactly the same thing. Mega Man X, fucking masterpiece. I would play that game backwards and forwards forever. I have not even kind of liked anything after it.
Nope. It's all right, though. It's all right.
It's all right. It's fine. I don't need to have a bunch of movies I need to see a billion times. There's already plenty for me to watch.
Oh my God, there's so much.
It's insane. My TV schedule is like fucking packed. I'm not even done this season of Law & Order yet. Star Trek Strange New Worlds has been great. I still got like 3 or 4 episodes of Stranger Things left, which is at least 8 to 12 hours of content. And we got Boys and Ms. Marvel are in like, God, The Boys is this Friday, right? The day this comes out. Jesus.
I haven't seen 30 seconds of that show, so I don't even know.
So good.
I'm sure
There's
it is.
Iron Chef coming back. Umbrella Academy drops on my birthday. Only Murders in the Building is also in June. Jesus Christ, it doesn't stop. There's an onslaught of great content, and I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Imagine if you watched wrestling on top of it.
Oh, yeah. No,
it's ridiculous. Last night, I sat here and watched AEW Double or Nothing was their pay-per-view. It's like their big show, like the biggest show of the year. It started at 7 o'clock and finished at 12:30, I think, give or take. It was fucking great from start to finish. Start to finish.
Good. That's good to hear.
I loved all of it. Fucking Danhausen and Hook. Danhausen is possibly the greatest thing ever in wrestling. He's so fucking silly and weird. He just, oh my God, he's so great. He's one of those things where, like, you look at it and you're like, my God, that is really stupid. Like, that's really, really dumb. And this is why I hate wrestling. And then 3 weeks later, you're like a Danhausen super fan. You're like, I've watched all of his YouTube videos. I've bought the Danhausen Coffeehausen from his website. Like, I add Hausen to the end of my words now. It's absurd. Like, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I can't even imagine adding any kind of regular sport on top of what I already do.
Well, yeah, like I was trying to watch the fucking Rangers playoffs, and they won Saturday night, and there's game 7 against the Carolina Hurricanes. Like, NHL playoffs have been insane. Fucking Boston Celtics are apparently the greatest basketball team in the history of ever. And I shouldn't feel bad that the Nets lost against them. There's baseball every night. Fucking wrestling, football, like training camp starts soon. Of fucking watching curling, that shit's on all the time. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
It's a lot to keep up with, man. And like, on top of that, trying to read. Like, I just got a bunch of books that I'm excited to read, and like, I've dedicated myself this summer. I'm going to finally fucking read Don Quixote. I've tried to start it a bunch of times. I think I've just had the wrong translations. So I got a new translation, and I'm going to read Don Quixote. From everything I can tell, from everyone who has ever met me, that has also read Don Quixote, I have been told that this would be my favorite book, and I am Don Quixote, and I don't know if I should be offended by that or not, so I have to read the goddamn book. Anyway.
I can't say I've ever read it, so I can't say for sure.
I don't want to. It's over 1,000 pages, and reading is one of my very favorite things in the world. I have loved it my entire life, but if a book is 1,000 pages, I just feel like your story's too long, and I'm not that interested. But that's the abridged version, Chris. The abridged version.
Me. I'm not much of a reader. I'm a little more than halfway through with Reggie's book.
Is that good?
I don't know.
I can't imagine it would be. No, like, guys who present the way that Reggie like, that just doesn't translate to a book.
Yeah, it's a little more interesting than I thought it was going to be. It's nowhere near as good as that Iwata book. That was like, because Iwata's just such a fascinating dude. Reggie's book has been pretty interesting so far. There's been some cool stuff that I didn't know he was involved in, but it's really just kind of explaining how he went from job to job and what he did in those jobs. And like the VH1 chapter was pretty interesting. I didn't know he worked with VH1.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You know, his time with Pizza Hut and what was it? Panda Express. That was an interesting chapter because he worked with Panda Express, and there was like a whole bunch of stuff that company was trying to do. And then he started to kind of work towards making them into being bigger than they were, which was like what their plan was and why they hired him. And they just kind of changed their mind. It was like, you know what? We're just going to kind of stay where we are.
We're good where we are.
Yeah. And I
love Panda Express, man.
He just got to Nintendo, or is just getting to Nintendo now. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's not like amazing. But it's pretty interesting.
Not a must-have page turner.
No, I mean, yeah, unless you're really in the business. He does a bunch of these, like, you know, lessons what was the point of this? Like, what did I learn from this? Which is kind of cool, I guess, but at the same time, it's like, well, we have very different lives, so I'm not learning the same shit you are, Reggie.
But books like that, man, like, they have to be written by somebody else. Like, I can't imagine anything worse than a Steve Jobs book written by Steve Jobs. However, the Steve Jobs book that was written by Walter Isaacson is tremendous. And I don't worship at the altar that is Steve Jobs. I never did. But that book is outstanding. Out-fucking-standing. Because Walter Isaacson is an incredibly gifted storyteller and writer. So, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if this was ghostwritten or whatever, but it's not bad, but it's not, it's not blowing my skirt up.
I don't know. I just got I'm making my way through this book currently called The Wax Packers, or The Wax Pack, which is really cool. This guy, I might have talked about it before. This guy bought a pack of baseball cards off of eBay, a 1987 Topps pack, and decided to try and find all the people that were in the pack that he opened and interview them, because we know certain baseball stars, but there's so many just guys that played baseball for a couple of years. They were big leaguers and they played. Now they own car dealerships or a Starbucks, or this one guy he's interviewing right now owns a Jersey Mike's. It's like, no shit, dude. You were a fucking big league ball player. That's crazy. So that's really, really cool. And then I'm listening to Sparky Lyle's book about the 70s Yankee teams that were just fucking insane. New York in the 70s is a thing that I missed, that I am really sorry that I missed. That seems like a really, really interesting, fun time. But that's really interesting. And then I've got Haruki Murakami's The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle coming in the mail that I'm very excited about, because I have also been told that oh yeah, this is for you. He wrote this book personally for you. So we'll see.
I thought of you earlier today, speaking of baseball
don't you
cards.
always?
That's true.
So I was in the bathroom looking down
at the floor. Some details about the Kickstarter, the Super Ninja Baseball Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be baseball cards in one of them.
Oh, that's so cool. I want it to happen so bad. I
feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty confident that they're gonna find enough people to make this happen.
I don't kickstart shit. I'm very strongly considering it.
I feel like you'd be a fool not to.
Yeah, I feel like I have to.
It's so you. It's fucking Ninja Baseball Batman baseball cards.
Yeah, no, I mean that's it. Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty much my sweet spot. That cross section right there.
Tiers are. I need to see what the tiers are. It goes live on Friday, on June 3rd.
Yeah. But that maybe I'll do that as part of Tiff's birthday. I'll donate in her name. She'll love that. There you go. She'll really appreciate that, I think.
It's only got 82 followers on the project so far, but I feel like once the project actually launches, it'll pick up some steam.
Yeah.
Because I mean, God, it just looks so good, and I'm hoping, as long as the monetary ask isn't huge, it's just doing a mini series of comics and a couple of cool add-ons. I think it'll be successful. I hope so. All right, let's see. Real quick. Few more things of importance. I've played through a bunch of Radical Dreamers.
Okay.
Which is super cool. There's a reason I don't play a lot of text adventures. It's just a lot of, all right, you walk down this hallway now, and then there's a fork to the left, and you enter yon dungeon, you see a flask. Boy, oh boy. But it's been really fascinating hearing all this music and stuff from Chrono Cross and be like, oh shit, it was from this game. But it's all Super Nintendo-y. It's really interesting. It is a wild experience playing it. I haven't finished it because it's kind of fucking boring, but it's also really fascinating. I have played some of Chrono Cross. I think it looks just fine. You know, it's a cleaner version of the PlayStation game, so it doesn't look as hideous. I haven't played much more of it because I have reviews and stuff that I've got to do. I started Scott Pilgrim with Karen. She thought it was pretty cool, so we're probably going to keep playing that from time to time if there's another opportunity for us to play a game together. I got the review code for Pac-Man Museum Plus, which is really interesting. It's got some weird ass Pac-Man games I've never played before, like Pac and Pal, like the sequels that weren't Miss Pac-Man. The ones that Namco was just like, all right, we can make a sequel to Pac-Man.
Why not? Let's do it.
But they weren't Pac-Man. There's a reason Miss Pac-Man caught on and this didn't, because this is like Super Pac-Man's not a great game. It's an interesting game. Like, it's a really interesting game. But what's the super cool stuff is like, all right, I love Pac-Mania, but that's been around. The Pac-Man arrangement game is really neat. Getting to like really sink my teeth into that version of that game has been really fun. Because that's a really cool version of Pac-Man. Pac-Man 256 is great. Nice to have that on the collection. Having Pac-Man Battle Royale, like, that you don't have to pump like $5 in per person per minute to make that game. Arcade game is so expensive to play for more than like 30 seconds. Every time somebody's out, it's like, all right, enter another $1.50 to play for another 15 seconds. Like, fuck you, game. But actually, playing it like for free on your system is neat, because that game's really great, and it has the original Pac-Man Champion Edition,
which is awesome. 360.
Because like Championship Edition 2 has been on Switch for a while, but the first ones I think only been on previous gen systems. So now all your Xbox Series and PS5s or whatever and your Switches can play Pac-Man Champion Edition without going back through backwards compatibility or whatever. That's just a phenomenal game. It's a really good collection, and it doesn't have Pac-Man 2 on it, so it's even better.
Nice.
Specifically omitting that hideous turd. Pinball finally hit Nintendo Switch Online, and I'm thrilled. Some other caveman game showed up on Super Nintendo, which is actually kind of neat. I played a few minutes of this is actually a pretty good game. I've never played this one before. I can't remember what it's called because there's like 13 caveman games on the Super Nintendo app right now. There's both Joe and Mac games, and like 3 others I can't remember the names. Whatever. Pinball for NES is on Nintendo Switch Online, and it's been fun seeing people complain about it being glitchy. Being like, oh, here's another bug in the Nintendo Switch Online. How come Nintendo can't get this stuff right? The flippers disappeared. And I'm like, no, they disappear when you hit, 10,000 points. When you hit a certain score, they disappear, and then they come back when you reach 100,000. You get to 100,000, the flippers disappear. They come back when you get to 150,000. That's not a glitch. It's not shitty emulation.
It's on purpose.
It's part of the game. It's fucking weird, but it's just the way it works.
It is what it is.
And last but not least, our good friend Sean Doyle. They have a game that they've been playing online on their Xboxes for a long time. And Sean wanted me to be a part of it, so he bought me a copy of NHL 19.
Okay.
He called and he said, where are you? I said, I'm out doing a dog show for a local dog show. He's like, all right, I'm going to drop this game into your mailbox. And it was a brand new sealed copy of NHL 19 for Xbox One. I'm like, where the fuck did you even get this? Where do you find
He just has extras laying around just in case. Would that be, knowing Sean as you do, would that be the weirdest thing he's ever done? No. It wouldn't even be the top 10.
No, it wouldn't even make the top 10.
No, not even close. Top 15, not even.
So I cracked it open and I put it in my Xbox and was like, well, you got some updates to do. And then like 40 minutes later, it was almost done. So I haven't played the game yet. But when I actually started it up, I couldn't get to the main menu because I just wanted to see, what do I need to just play this online with my friends? Yeah. I have no interest in anything except jumping in on their game that they play once every couple of weeks or whatever. That's all I want to do. So what level of Xbox Live do I need to do this? And I couldn't even get to that. There was like, I had to go through some training mode. It's like, I don't have time for this. The main menu was locked. I couldn't tell if it was locked because the game wasn't done downloading yet.
Probably. The show is like that when you first download it.
Start this, but we're like, whatever. modern games are weird, but yes, I have NHL 19, so I don't know. We'll see if that becomes a thing in my life.
All right,
and I think that was all that needed to be discussed. We're going to take ourselves a break, and when we come back, we're going to do our Not-E3 predictions, because this is going to be a weird year, and I'm super excited about so much stuff. I have no idea what's going to happen. You are listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around. And now, here's a quick look at some of the other original content available now from our partners and Geekade.com.
First up, there's a new Rescue Rangers movie out there in the world, and it's quite a meta experience. Does the movie have anything to offer besides references, or is it a hollow attempt to recreate Roger Rabbit? Plus, Ryan and Andy snack on some bugs. There's even a quiz about 90s cartoons. Be sure to check out Weekend Rental episode 126. The gamers get chippy.
They do not get daily. Next, it's always fun when a video game's
Double O
ending
daily.
Double O daily. I don't watch it.
Sometimes. Anyway.
It's always fun when a video game's ending surprises you, but it's even more fun when you get a choice to just say, heck with it, I'm done being the protagonist. Thanks to our lovely Discord community, I have put together a list of my favorite times the end of a video game has involved the good guys becoming the bad guys. Be sure to check out Stone Age Countdown, Top 5 Heel Turn Endings, over on the Stone Age Gamer YouTube channel. I learned what heel is from you, Dan. Thanks, Wrestling.
I'm so happy you used that term, too.
I did.
Man, heel turns, when they're done well. Man, I thought there was going to be one on Sunday night, but, there was one. Julia Hart finally joined the House of Black, but it's not the one I thought was going to happen. Anyway, finally, this time in a theater near you, or at a theater near you, maybe, in and at, Sean Paul, not that Sean Paul, they're two different guys, but I'm just going to put them together because there's no comma. Sean Paul, the musician, and Kris dive into The Lawnmower Man, a bizarre piece of cinematic history that Stephen King sued twice to have his name removed from, because he's a fucking idiot, and that movie's amazing.
No,
Is it
it's
somehow
not.
worse than King Solomon's Mines? Not
Yes.
even a fucking little bit. It's one of the greatest movies ever made. Just how long was this movie supposed to be? Not fucking long enough. There should have been more. Why wasn't there considerably more monkey? Monkeys are hard to train and they throw shit everywhere. Learn the answer to these questions and more in a theater near you, episode 15, Lawnmower Man. Yes, I know it's not an actual monkey. It's okay.
Was an actual monkey. The fucking director's cut's got this whole bit with the monkey in the beginning, and there's this gruesome death scene of the monkey. I thought I was getting a monkey movie, all right? I watched 25 minutes of the Lapidus dude from Lost in a shack with a monkey that he thought was a superhero. And I thought, all right, this movie I can get behind.
Movie's great.
All in, and then it just went so far downhill from there.
Oh, love that movie. Pierce Brosnan, tour de force.
Movie shirts in that movie.
That movie is fucking garbage, but I love it. I love it.
Apparently,
I love
the second one's even worse.
Oh, I didn't see the second one because I'm not a fucking masochist.
But neither Paul nor Sean watched the second one, but I went a step further. I didn't watch the second one. I played the fucking video game.
Oh, that's so much worse. So much worse.
Is it?
Yeah,
it's pretty bad, but I felt like watching the 2.5 hour director's cut of Lawnmower Man was the worst part of all of it. God damn it. Anyway, for all this and more from us and our partners, be sure to keep your eyes on Geekade.com. And we're back. This is one of my favorite times of the year. I love E3 and for all of its stupidness, but for all of us at home and not at E3, I always feel like we get the better end of the deal. Having been to E3 once, it was a wonderful experience, but I felt like I missed so much stuff because you don't get to see everything. You're there. But when you're at home, especially in the age of the internet, we get to watch all of it. So E3 has been canceled, but that doesn't seem to be stopping pretty much anybody from just going ahead with their plans anyway and just doing some sort of online thing. Congo's Caper was the name of that caveman game that showed up on Switch Online this week, and it's pretty good. Try it out if you like Super Nintendo games. But anyway, here's what we've come up with. Here's what we have tracked down as far as what is going to happen. Oh crap, that's the wrong list. Come on.
I've got it. You want me to run it down?
I got it. I'm right in front of me here. All right. So, May 31st, we have the Evercade Anniversary Show. Then on June 2nd, there's the Sony State of Play. June 8th is Black Voices in Gaming. Just because I wrote these backwards. June 6th, that June 8th should have been later. Just trying to do these chronologically. June 6th, that's Time TBA, the Limited Run Showcase. June 10th is the Netflix Geeked Week Games segment. The whole Geek Week is June 6th through 10th, but on the 10th and specifically at 1 p.m. they're going to be doing a bunch of game related stuff. Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest starts on June 9th. Tribeca Games Spotlight, like the Tribeca Film Festival, on June 10th. They're doing something. Guerrilla Collective is June 11th. Wholesome Direct is June 11th. Future Game Show, June 11th. Xbox and Bethesda is the 12th. PC Gaming Show is the 12th. And I believe Devolver Direct has been confirmed, but there's no date yet. No word on whether or not Ubisoft is going to have a thing, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that they will because
makes sense.
I don't know, they're them. Same with from Square and Sega. I kind of feel like Sega's not going to do something, but I wouldn't be surprised if Square did, and there's no word on a Nintendo Direct yet officially, but it would be shocking and amazing if we didn't get one mid-June to kind of coincide with all of this stuff. And EA
Sega
canceled their State of Play thing, or whatever their EA Play bullshit.
I was going to say, like, Sega and Square might just jump into, like, there was a sneeze. It was just very delayed. They might jump into like Summer Games Fest or something like that.
Yeah, they'll probably have stuff in both the Sony and the Summer Games or whatever.
Yeah,
Summer Games Fest. But who knows? Maybe they'll do their own thing, and I actually have a bit of a prediction for that. So,
all right,
let's start at the top. Did you come up with any? Oh, what do we got? What's up?
The Evercade Anniversary Show takes place tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And I actually I got invited to the Evercade arcade to the show. They sent me a ticket with an itinerary of what was going to happen. But I can't go. Obviously, I have to go to work, and I just got the tickets today. But I did want to read the breakdown for you of what we can expect to happen tomorrow. So what's going to happen is that they're going to come out, because the Evercade, they've done like the Atari Games collection and the like this old system collection and all that stuff. So they said they're going to come out tomorrow. They're going to announce that they have purchased Intellivision from Tommy. Okay. Tommy is then going to pull up on stage in his Lamborghini wearing an alpaca fur tracksuit and a big like a Bitcoin medallion that's like the size of a Flavor Flav clock. And he's going to then give a speech bragging about how this experience developing the Amico has humbled him. He's then going to proceed to hum, because they couldn't, obviously, they spent all their money on assuming the debt of the Intellivision company, so they couldn't afford the band. But Tommy himself is then going to hum the Advent Rising soundtrack from start to finish. That's what's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah, no, I have it in front of me.
Oh, well,
it's official.
Well,
I think the most important part is that he's going to give the speech bragging about how humble he is now from this experience.
Without a doubt. I mean, yeah. I feel he's learned from the experience. Truly. Deeply.
Oh, you're going to hear about it. You're going to hear about what he's learned. So much. Learned so hard. Learned so much better than you had to be humble. It's been great. Anyway.
Well, I had a couple of guesses for the Evercade show. Just in case your information isn't accurate.
I mean, that would be wild if it wasn't.
That would be really weird.
It really would be. Who sent me this letter?
So they said they had some big stuff to announce.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means new hardware, because like I feel like the Evercade Versus is pretty recent.
Couple years, right? Recent? Year
Well,
or two
no,
ago?
the Evercade's been out for a little while. I think just the new Versus one was just last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a year or two ago, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think it was a full year. I don't know for sure. I just don't know. But I don't think they're gearing up for new hardware. My guess for something big would be that maybe they got like a Capcom collection coming out.
That would be really cool, actually.
With a combination of their arcade and NES stuff. I think that
would be really cool.
That would be pretty cool. I think it's possible they might have some sort of Sunsoft collection, which would be really neat. I'm thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool if they had some sort of collection with stuff like Mr. Gimmick and Hebereki, Euphoria. I mean, obviously Blaster Master, but maybe get some of that, like, the Genesis stuff, the unlicensed Genesis stuff, like Blaster Master 2. Or I feel like there's a lot to do with Sunsoft that could be an interesting brand to get their hands on. Like, the Acrobat games,
for sure.
Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel. Like, a lot of this stuff demands like huge prices. So that would be something. And what I would really like to see would be some Atari Activision collections, or even just an Atari Activision collection, because
for sure
most of the Atari Activision stuff hasn't been on any of the Atari stuff lately, and that's some of the best content on the 2600. Like, I just listened to Ferg's Private Eye episode a week ago for the 2600 Game by Game podcast. I've never played that before. The game sounds fascinating. I think that would be really nice to get the Activision stuff on the Evercade. I think it's a good place for it. So that's that.
Huh. Cool.
All right, let's see. The next one is State of Play. That's on the 2nd. So now, obviously, the Evercade one and State of Play, we'll have our answers before this episode goes live. But
yeah, we'll know.
We'll know.
We'll know just how well the humming went.
Let's get milk-faced and hum like rabbits.
Oh, goodness. I don't even know at all what to expect.
You pineapple! You fuzzy cootie!
I don't even a little bit know what to expect from Sony at this one. So I went with a couple safe bets and then what I think would be really awesome. So I think we'll definitely get a Ragnarok release date, because we know it's supposed to be coming. I think we'll get the official release date. I think we'll get some Wolverine gameplay. I think we'll get some Spider-Man 2 gameplay. Then I think the other safe bet is that we'll get lots of stuff about PSVR 2. Because there's been a bunch of stuff on the blog.
They said that's going to be a big part of their presentation, is the PSVR 2, yeah.
So here's where I think that's going. I think we're going to get the PSVR 2 stuff, and then we're going to get the oh shit moment of Half-Life Alyx being available on the VR 2, and then they're going to transition that into Half-Life 3 being announced for the PlayStation 5. That's what I'm going with.
Ooh, going out on a limb.
That would be.
You've got yours written down, right? You got this stuff written down?
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to cross-reference all this when this stuff actually happens. Oh boy, Half-Life 3.
And I would also, it wouldn't surprise me if there was some sort of acquisition announced as well. Some sort of, our new partnership. Yeah, we've picked up.
We've purchased Television Entertainment.
Yeah, and then obviously Tommy Tallarico is going to come out and hum the Advent Rising. That's how all of these presentations end, by the way, is with Tommy Tallarico humming.
Because everybody has purchased in television. Every one of these companies has purchased in television, and then at the end of the month, they're all going to be like, "Wait a second, wait a second."
Well, that's that.
Tommy's just going to
go tricky Tommy Tallarico, Triple T we called him, which would actually be 4 T's. The name never actually really worked, but
no, that would be 3. Tricky Tommy Tallarico. That's 3.
Yeah, but if you call him Triple T, that's now 4 T's. Triple starts with a T as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Jokes are funnier when you explain them.
I've always found them to be.
What did Jesus do when Mary Magdalene tracked sand into their house?
I don't know what.
Jesus swept.
Nice.
That's what he did, Chris. He swept.
This is the quality content that people come here for.
I've been trying to figure out a way to work that in all night, and I figured, fuck it, I'm just going to go for it.
Well done.
I'm happy I did.
I didn't predict a whole lot different from you. I split news on various Marvel games, news on God of War. There's going to be a lot of talk about PS Plus, I think, right? That's what the news service is called.
Well, I mean, they just did a huge blog post about it. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they drop a bunch more information about it. It's already live in certain parts of Asia.
Yeah, I specifically think they're going to address PlayStation 2 games. Not games, PS2 games that have been ported or whatever. I think they're going to address specific PlayStation 2 emulation coming to the platform. I think that might be a part of it. My pie in the sky thoughts were I think now might be the time for a Jak and Daxter revival.
I think that'd be great.
I specifically think that a PlayStation All-Stars 2, if that was ever going to happen, now's a good time because Smash is done. They don't have anything to really go head against except for all of the other ones that are out right now. We are in Smash
the Nickelodeon,
the Nickelodeon one, the
Warner
DC
Brothers
one or Warner Brothers one. What's it? The indie one, Brawlhalla, is still getting new characters added. There's a Smash clone universe happening right now, and if Sony has proven anything, is that they really love to follow up on people's ideas. So
that's for sure.
We'll see. That's my pie in the sky guess. But the real prediction. This is my number one prediction. This is the showstopper. All right. Because they're gonna be doing a lot of PlayStation VR 2. That's gonna be one of their main focuses, and they're gonna need a game that's gonna be the game. Now you think it's gonna be Half-Life 3 or Half-Life Alyx?
Yeah.
I think they're gonna keep up with this Marvel IP thing.
Okay.
And their big VR game, the one that's going to sell it on everybody, is a Morbius game. It's a Morbius dancing game called It's Morbin Time.
Oh, I like that. I'm in.
And that's it. Mic drop. They'll say the price, $599 US. Walk right off the stage.
That's right.
And there will be a bathtub full of rubber ducks.
Of course.
They're just going to dump a dump truck full of rubber ducks. We did this years ago digitally. Now this is what it looks like in real time. And they're just going to dump a bunch of ducks into a bathtub and move on. And that is state of play.
I like it. The Morbius game, I hope you play from the perspective of the left incisor. Just the left.
Well, you
one,
can
though.
choose between the left or the right, depending on if you're left or right-handed.
I mean, I am left-handed, so I would definitely be the left incisor.
Oh yeah, because Morbius doesn't dance.
I don't know teeth.
Morbius doesn't dance. His teeth do.
Ooh, even better.
Sponsored by Crest.
He smells blood and they do a jig. It's fucking awesome.
It's fucking weird.
Why are your teeth doing that, Morbius? I don't know. I'm morbidly curious myself.
They're just morbid.
They're just morbid. Oh boy.
All right. I mean, I have no idea how to predict black voices in gaming. I think that's more of a presentation.
That's not my area.
Yeah.
Not my area.
I don't think that's much of an announcement thing, though. I think that's really a more of a...
I remember
from last
discussion.
year, it was very much a forum discussion thing, yeah. So the next one is Limited Run. Did you have anything for Limited Run?
I think maybe we'll get a physical release of the Xbox up to this point exclusive Battletoads for Switch. That seems like a thing that could be cool and is about time to do that.
Yeah.
Like enough time has passed, and then maybe finally the physical version of A Hat in Time for PlayStation people, so that we can actually get the DLC. that is still not available on fucking PlayStation for some goddamn reason. Yeah, it's super weird. And then a physical Game Boy, Castlevania Game Boy Advance collection.
Oh, reprints of the Castlevania Game Boy. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's what I would like to see.
Okay, you're saying
the collection. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was my exact. I had that exact same prediction. We're going to get a physical Castlevania Advance collection. But now that you mention it, I wouldn't be surprised to see because they've done that before with actual reprints of older games, reprints of all three of those Castlevania games for Game Boy Advance.
I mean, if you want to make all the monies, that's the way to do it.
Be a pretty great way to go. I think during the limited run showcase is where we're going to get the Cowabunga collection release date.
Oh yeah, that could be possible.
They're handling the physical version, I believe.
They're handling one of the physical versions.
Well, I think they're handling
multiple.
The physical version. Like they're distributing it in stores and everything as well. But they have an exclusive version for limited. I think that's how it's working. I could be wrong
because I thought there was like two other ones too. Like one of them has stickers.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different versions floating around out there.
But limited run is partnered with Best Buy, right?
Yeah. So it's going to be out there, and as they said, as many places as they can get it. So
yeah,
I think we're finally going to get the release date, and I think it's going to be soon, like really soon. I
would say end of June sounds about right for that.
And are they handling the physical version of Shredder's Revenge? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Either way, I think by the end of E3, by the end of these next couple of weeks, we're going to have release dates for both those games. That's my hope. Whether they're part of the limited run showcase or not, we'll find out. Yeah. And my pie in the sky things, I think that there's going to be some sort of fingers crossed. I think there's going to be some sort of Blaster Master collection.
That would be nice.
Wouldn't that be nice? And limited run will have the make the physical version of it come out into the world. So I think it'll be on all platforms. I think it'll be I think it'll just be PlayStation and Switch. The Blaster Master Zero physical stuff has skipped Xbox in the past.
Has it really?
I think. I'm not sure. But either way, I think getting all the classic Blaster Masters together is a good idea, and I've said it for ages. And the other one that I want to throw out there is I think that is sticking with my Sunsoft predictions. I think that they're going to do a physical Mr. Gimmick NES reprint.
Nice.
Since it didn't get a US release to begin with, similar to how that Wily Wars thing just happened, I think they're going to grab a Mr. Gimmick for NES. They're going to make a physical cartridge and get it out there in the world.
Cool. I'd be into that.
I would love that. I would buy that in an instant. That's not true. I have no money. I am so fucking poor right now. I can't afford shit. But if I had the money, I would do it. All right. Do you have anything for Geeked Week? The Netflix stuff?
I think they'll probably just officially announce some like TV shows that they're going to do based on video game properties. Mm-hmm. Because I thought like that they had kind of scuttled all of their games plans, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see. I think they'll announce the Cuphead's been renewed. I think we're gonna get information on that Castlevania follow-up series.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna officially announce Arcane Season 2 because I don't think that's been officially renewed yet, but I could be wrong. We're gonna get. And some
isn't
information.
Sony doing something with them? Didn't Sony just announce something
with all their shows? I can't remember. I know it was a couple different places. Do a bunch of yeah. I don't know how I feel about that, but
like God of War is going to Amazon Prime. I thought there was something.
Got one.
Horizon might have been Netflix.
I
think Horizon was Netflix, and that makes sense. There's a show there,
I suppose. Where the heck was that?
I mean, we gotta continue to hope that these things are good because, damn it, there is a good Metroid show to be made. There really is.
All right, yeah, Horizon for Netflix, God of War for Amazon, and a Gran Turismo show.
I mean, yeah, that's weird, but
I hope it's a cartoon like Speed Racer.
Or a Gearhead show.
Sure, but I hope it's a cartoon like Speed.
Yeah.
Top Gear exists. Like, that TV show exists. I want you know what? I want like where the car gets up and talks. Like
like Cars?
I want it to not like Cars, like the unlockable car in that Sega fighting game, you know?
Yeah.
I want it to be incredibly stupid. I want it to be like, all right, remember when we made that Battleship movie? Yeah. We're gonna do that shit.
I wanted to be starring Clint Eastwood, thinking that he's somehow making a sequel to that Gran Torino thing he did.
Oh yes.
Like
just
he wrote
the kids to get off his lawn.
He wrote and directed Gran Torino, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we're doing Gran Turismo." We'd be like, "Oh, I got to be involved in that." Fucking awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
The only other one I had, obviously we're going to get more news on that Sonic show. My pie in the sky is that they're going to announce a new Mega Man cartoon.
That would be so great.
This one will actually look good. Because that last one looked awful. I didn't try it, but I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Boo. You got anything for Summer Games Fest?
Yeah, I think that's where we'll get like the big publishers that aren't having their own shows. You know, like that's where you're gonna get Sega. Like a lot of stuff from Sega. That's where you'll get like some other big stuff. I do think that is where we will see Beyond Good and Evil again. They'll talk about it, and it's still not going to come out. I think Bungie is going to announce their next venture there, not at the Sony show. They'll save it for the big Jeff Keighley vehicle, and then I also think we might get. Hold on, something just fell. I got it. What did I write down? Sorry, the thing fell. McCready fell from off my monster shelf. A new Kojima thing. Whatever the fuck Kojima's doing. Because him and Keighley are like super tight.
They are. They're bros.
So I think whatever the new Kojima production shit is, they might even announce that they're like PlayStation exclusive at that event. I don't fucking know. But I could see that happening. All of that seems to make sense.
Yeah, that's I had a couple of individual Ubisoft predictions. I was going to predict that again, Beyond Good and Evil 2 would be a no-show, but also that the Prince of Persia remake, also a complete and total no-show. I don't think that game's ever happening.
Man, that would bum me out.
Yeah, I think it's toast. I don't think it's coming. Let's see. Tribeca, Gorilla, Wholesome, Future. You got anything for any of them?
I don't have anything for Tribeca because I don't know what to expect from that.
Me neither.
I said for Guerrilla Collective, there's going to be lots of really cool games that I want announced, and then for Wholesome Direct, lots of really cool games that I don't want.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That seems about right. I feel.
Yeah, I have no predictions for those shows at all.
Yeah, same thing for like Future Game Show.
Yeah,
PC Gaming Show. I got nothing.
Should be interesting, but that's about all I got.
Yeah.
I guess just to throw back into the other one, since we're gonna that's kind of the catch-all is the Summer Game Fest for Square. I think they're at some point Square is going to announce that the Pixel remasters and Chrono Trigger are coming to consoles.
Yeah, I could see that.
The reason I think Square is going to do their own presentation is that I think they're going to do a presentation and be like, all right, we're going to butter you up. Here's your Pixel remasters and that new ultra widescreen version of Chrono Trigger. They're coming to consoles. You're welcome. We love you. Now let's talk NFTs. And they're going to talk. They're going to do a whole mess of NFT nonsense. That's just going to be so barf-inducing. And maybe, just maybe, they'll tie up with Final Fantasy VII Part 2. But
maybe. After they have dropped the bombshell that fucking Chrono Trigger remastered widescreen edition is coming exclusively to the Wii U. Because they feel that the gamepad is the best way to take advantage of the something.
Without a doubt. They need that dual screen experience. Just can't quite get it right. And Sega, if they have a presentation at all, they'll pull the curtain back on what they've been talking about with reviving a bunch of classic brands and a bunch of information on Sonic Frontiers, which apparently they're really trying to get good review scores on.
Well, that would be a welcome change.
I mean, I like how they called that out. Like, have you not been aiming for good review scores previously?
No, we've just been chucking shit out there.
Clearly you haven't, but seems like a weird thing to publicize. You want your game to get reviewed well? Oh, wow. Huh. All right, cool. Thanks for clearing that up.
Bold strategy, Cotton. See how it works out for him.
All right, so that just leaves Xbox and Bethesda and Nintendo. I mean, there's Devolver, but you can't predict
Devolver
that.
is going to be madness, and I'm going to want everything they announce.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the show. I wouldn't dare predict that.
No. Tommy Tallarico is going to hum.
I will say again that I would love the follow-up to Katana Zero, but
yeah, Katana 1
happens. There you go. Katana 0.5.
Oh man,
Dream drop
I have
distance.
no idea what to expect from Xbox and Bethesda, because like their big shit, like it's delayed.
Yeah, it's all delayed.
So like, do you come out and like, I mean, Starfall is gonna be dope, we promise, and like, do you tease Elder Scrolls 6?
Probably,
maybe. Coming out 2024, like are we at that point now where we're gonna get 2024 releases?
Oh yeah, for sure. 2025. Right? If Sony doesn't show off something for 2025, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
But I think they're gonna show off some. We're gonna get some CG trailers for shit that's not gonna be here for at least a year.
Yeah.
I feel like there's gonna be something exclusive and Elden Ring related.
Oh man, maybe, because they were doing that one exclusive From Software thing, like, oh god, 9 years ago, that fell apart. I don't remember what the hell that was now, but there was something that they were working on that eventually got canceled. I could see that. I mean, man, I just don't know. It wouldn't even surprise me if they were like the Xbox Series X. SF, like some sort of console refresh. Like that wouldn't shock me. I feel the same about, jumping ahead just a touch here, but I do think Nintendo, this is the time for the Switch Pro.
Nah.
Like I think we're at that point. Happening. Switch Pro releasing in conjunction with Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think there's enough. They won't be able to get enough out there, and I think that's what's holding them up. I think if there was ever any plans to do a Switch Pro, they were like, "Fuck it, we're not going to be able to get enough of them on the shelves, so why bother?"
I don't know.
The Switch is selling just fine. They don't have any need for a refresh right now. So
I mean, it hasn't hurt Sony, hasn't hurt Microsoft. It's only driven up demand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't know. Especially because Nintendo and Xbox have both already announced so much stuff for this year.
Yeah, that's what makes
we know Breath of the Wild, we know Splatoon 3. We
Breath of the Wild 2's been delayed, but
like we know it's cut. The big bullet that they have left to shoot is Metroid Prime 4. Like that's the big announcement. But I don't know if it's time for that yet.
I mean, maybe we see a trailer to announce it for next summer or something like that. I mean, maybe.
But even then, I think that would be a fall direct kind of thing.
Yeah, like that they don't usually show off things that far ahead. So
no, like it was kind of an anomaly that Splatoon got shown so early.
And even then, that wasn't even that early. Like, when was Splatoon 3 shown off? That wasn't last E3, was it? That was around the fall, I think.
Or was it the fall? I don't remember.
I think that was the later direct.
But it was still still pretty early for Nintendo. I mean, earlier than they usually do. Not crazy for the other companies, but earlier than Nintendo usually does it.
When was Splatoon 3 announced? let's see. Splatoon 3. It was announced on the February 2021 Direct.
Oh, so that was... Yeah, we're a year and a half out. That is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is pretty early for them, yeah.
Yeah.
Wild. All right, back to Xbox. I do think... I agreed with you on the Battletoads thing coming to Switch. I don't know where it would get announced. I threw it in the Xbox stuff. I do think we're going to see a bunch of Starfield again. I think we might hear more about that Fable reboot they announced a while back.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
I think that's a thing that people care about. I feel like it's been a while since there's been anything Gears of War related. Am I crazy? I haven't been paying a lot of attention.
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. But I feel like it's been a while. And I do think, and this is more of a hope, I want to see a follow-up to Killer Instinct. Because
yeah, that would be nice.
It didn't blow my skirt up at first, but that's because I was wearing pants. No, when I first played it, I wasn't really crazy about it, but I've come to respect it a lot more since learning more about its development and then seeing the high-level play. Like, yeah, this is fucking good. I hate the new character designs, but the classic designs look great, and it's a good game. So I would really like to see a follow-up. I don't know who they get to do it, but I think it would be really cool to see that happen.
Gears 5 is the latest release, and that was 2019.
Yeah, I think we're due for some Gears. Even if it's just a collection, I think we're due for something proper Gears related. They just, they released Halo, they released that Halo TV series. I think they need to pivot to their other big one, which is Gears. Yeah. I think it's about time. All right. You got anything else
me with your Nintendo? Nah, right. I really have no idea where to even go with them. In typical Nintendo fashion.
A lot of my Nintendo stuff is wishful thinking, for sure. So, like, obviously, I want a Kid Icarus port and or sequel. That's, of course I want that.
Sure.
We're probably going to get some more information on Breath of the Wild 2. I think we're going to get some information on Prime 4. Last year they mentioned Prime 4 and then pivoted to Dread, which was incredible. Yeah. I think this year, so it's been a whole other year. I think it's time for us to see something on Prime 4. I think they're going to mention some DLC for Mario Party Superstars, or at least I certainly hope they will, because that game's just begging for it. Now, Super Mario Party was also begging for DLC and never got it.
Right.
No idea why. So, fingers crossed that they don't leave Superstars out in the dust, because I want more boards for that game, because we've been having we still play it pretty regularly in this house. Finished off another game just last night. Not last night, 2 days ago. But yeah, I want to see more DLC for that. I think we might get some information on the next courses for the Mario Kart expansion tracks that are coming up.
That makes sense.
I think we're getting close. I mean, it was a bunch of tracks over a couple of years. I don't know how to actually parse that out on when it makes the most sense for them to be, but I feel like it's been long enough for at least some sort of announcement on when we'll see more about that. I think they're going to hit us with way more Xenoblade Chronicles 3 news that I care about, which is going to be just about all of it. I'm so glad the game exists. I'm very happy for all you Xenoblade fans, but I've never been able to spend the time to get into the series, nor do I have time to even try to do it now. But it is one of their big holiday games, so I think we're going to get a bunch of information on it. I think they are going to announce the Game Boy line of systems coming to Switch Online. Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, for some sort of there, and it's going to be part of the expansion pass. Expansion pack. That's my guess. I think it's about time for Ring Fit 2. The game's been continued to be a sales juggernaut, and I think it's about time for a follow-up. Either that or DLC for Ring Fit to add like more, just add more campaign to it, because the game, again, it's been ridiculously successful.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see one completely insane thing akin to Labo. I have no idea what it is or how to predict it, but I think it's going to be something completely insane. Similar to how everyone looked at Labo and was like, what the fuck? That's my guess.
Is that?
Maybe a release date for Advance Wars. I don't know. But
God, I hope so.
That's all I got, because again, they're pretty well defined for the rest of this year. Oh, yeah. You know what else? And I don't know where this lands. Maybe it's part of the Nintendo Direct. I think we should, or at least I really hope, we get a release date for the Portal collection. Because that's, I think, coming to all platforms, right?
Yeah.
But there's no release date for it yet. So, gimme. Somebody, somewhere. I think it was announced first on a Nintendo Direct, so...
Yeah, the last one.
Yeah,
wasn't
it? So hook us up. Come on. Where the hell's my Portal game? I want to replay Portal, damn it.
For real. Yeah, I would be happy with all of this.
Yeah, sounds great. Kid Icarus, pile it on, man. Give me that Kid Icarus port. Or a sequel. I'll take either one of them. I would love to see some sort of, unlockable, the DLCs or something, just, with that. I want that 3D Classics Kid Icarus on my TV. I was just playing it last night. I booted up on my 3DS. Okay, this is the best way to play this game, bar none, except I want it to be on my television. So, that's all I got. And I'm excited. I am very excited. Last year's Nintendo presentation brought me dread, and I don't even remember what else. I remember being very excited about so much of it, but that dread announcement made me audibly yell. So, yeah. I don't think they're gonna. I mean, I don't know what they could do to match that for me, aside from saying like, "Here's a bunch of Kid Icarus shit." But
if they like personally called you out, they were like, "Hey, Kris, here's a bunch of fucking fucking Kid Icarus shit. Check our Instagram, check our Facebook. It's all there for you. Check Twitter."
It's beautiful. I wonder if they're gonna do the Treehouse Live.
Man, I don't even know.
Because they've done it for like not E3s before. They've had like Treehouse Live stuff not related to E3. It would be really great. I don't know what they do. I'm so mystified by it, and I'm kind of pissed that we don't have any kind of announcement yet. Because like I know they usually announce Nintendo Directs like 13 hours beforehand or some shit like that. They always give you like a day and a half before they come out, but usually the E3 one we know about a little bit ahead of time. Now, since there's no E3, sure, but come on, man, give me something to look forward to. Let me put it on my schedule. Let me put it on my goddamn schedule so I know what I'm doing.
That's all I want.
Anyway, that was fun.
Yeah.
Got anything else to add?
I do not. I'm out.
Me neither. Yeah.
Done. I'm spent.
I will. One last thing I will say. I hope that there is some in television news soon. I don't know.
Now's the time. It is.
I don't know what's going on. I'm assuming that we're just waiting for it to quietly disappear and claim bankruptcy or whatever.
That's what they're waiting for.
That's what they're waiting for. I just want it to be over. Or I want it to come out in whatever limited capacity it's going to come out with, and then have the handful of executives run away with their money and call it a day.
And just be done with it.
I just want it to be over. I want that part of my life to be behind me. I really want somebody else to. I guess I don't really want somebody else to buy that brand. I certainly wouldn't mind it, but I have no real connection to it. I think it's so gross what it's become. It would be really
it's just
cool
so
to
far
see
gone.
Television and ColecoVision brought into modern day in better ways. Like when television stuff's on the Evercade, let's get some ColecoVision stuff on there. The Odyssey 2-pack. There's your big announcement. Odyssey 2 stuff coming to Evercade. That'll move some units. Be interesting though. All right, well that's it. That's all I got. That's all Dan's got, and it's getting late, and I want to go to bed. So that is our show. Join us next week when we're going to play a little bit of catch up and cover the May 10, 20, 30, 40, which was supposed to be this week before we realized E3 sort of was happening. Yeah. So that's going to be fun. And then the following week, we're going to record our E3 or non-E3 reactions to everything. Because hopefully by the Monday after this, everything
2
will
weeks
have happened.
from now. Yeah.
2 weeks from now, everything will have happened. We don't know for sure when Nintendo's Direct is going to happen. We have to assume it's going to be around this time, but who knows? But the theoretical
they could
hope
be
is that
all
by
Nintendo
then,
about it.
They could be. They usually are.
They usually are.
Nintendo's gonna Nintendo. All right, well, that's it. Thanks for listening, everyone. We're on most social media platforms, and if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and the Geekade Patreon, which helps keep this show running week after week, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ali. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making this show listenable for all you folks. We'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. Thanks again, everybody. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.